Welcome to City Skylines, Mass Transit and the City of Rock Valley. In the last part we were building up these two minor settlements here, which is just for the fun of it. Because I'm not going to be min-maxing this city to try and get a really massive population. This is very much about having some fun, experimenting with the new forms of transport with mass transit. And you can see here the city's growing. We've got quite a lot of demand, but I'm not too worried about it. We seem to have cracked the worker situation here, and we've got our two minor settlements here which are going along quite well. And I think what I am going to do is lay out it's Concord Square here. This is the area that I laid out. It's probably a little bit too big now. Maybe we'll just come back to here. And we're going to give this a forestry designation. I think what I might do is just go a little bit orthodox. Why? No, I don't want to go orthodox. And I think what we're going to do is it's got to come around like that. And we've got our rail station here. Again, like I've said, I think I said in the previous part, when you're laying out kind of forestry type or the specialist areas, you don't want to go too far overboard with them. And I think maybe we can just quite literally, I think if we can, I hate it when it defaults to that. It's on now, paintbrush. Okay. I think that's probably enough to just tidy up these that. Don't need those. I'm going to get a little bit of forestry, and oh, we need water. Goes without saying. I'll just do the sloppy Joe approach. And what have we got here? We've got a little bit of fire. I think maybe we'll put some healthcare. Oh, we've got healthcare. Got sanitation. Let's put a sauna in. Maybe a park. That should give us. Yeah, it's given us a power connection through like that. And this will become our forestry area. And what I'm going to do here now is start to dezone this area out as... I mean, I could do it the quick way, which is you can just come in here. Not here, what am I on about? Come down here and quite literally just take away the forestry specialization. Just set it to generic. But I don't really want to do that because some of this forestry area in here is planks for life. This is like subsidiary. So what I'm actually going to do is exactly what I was doing before, is dezone off some of these areas here like this. I'm going to dezone this area here completely, and maybe this area here. No, I'll leave that area, and maybe we'll dezone this area. Just to see, and then what I'm actually going to do is exactly what I did last time. I'm just going to get rid of trees, and I'm going to do exactly the same here. And I know I'm being a bit weird, guys, but it will make sense. And again, I'm just going to get rid of all the trees. Cancel that, nearly accidentally deleted the metro station. Right, and if I look at the resources now, yeah, This is nice and white. Okay, what I'm going to do now is get this zone, and I'm going to shrink this down like that to the road here. Gets a bit smaller. Don't need Robin District. Just going to take this away as well. Road here. And what should happen now is these will start to leave. And what I am going to do is then rezone this in as not industrial. Let me zone this area in as industrial. Just take out that on that side, and I think what we will do is put a neat little row of offices there. And what should happen is these areas will dezone and become actually let's play silly buggers, guys. Take these trees out as well. Like that. And just gonna bring this zone up. Like that. Take these trees out the corner. What we should now get is a growing here is the wood products that will be drawn from this area here. So we will have a kind of growing area here. So if you look at the products here, it says Forestry, Friends, Original Wood Products, Lumber Mill. So you've got kind of the raw material production over here, and then what we should get over here as this grows up is Original Wood Products, Planks for Life, Fine Furniture, and we should get the second stage industry growing here. That's the theory anyway, guys. We'll just see if it happens. Obviously here we're going to have a little bit of a shortage of workers, which is understandable because obviously there's not going to be that many people living here, so I think we're going to just up the population a little bit, and maybe we'll put a schools out policy here. Maybe we'll just, I don't want this area to get too big, and of course some people will want to. And I mean, what we could do is actually put a bus station here. Actually, you know, I know I said earlier that I had prejudices against bus stations and things like this, but this is the type of area where I would use a bus lane. So I think maybe we'd put in some public transport, and I could put a bus station out here. And what I'm just going to do is, of course, we've got the monorail there, so maybe we're. Is that not? Why won't that? Oh, that's a footpath. Okay. Cancel. Just look at the road system. Okay. No. Put a bus stop. No, cancel that. Let's get this in. I'm messing about here, guys. I think we'll start over here. Get a bus line in like that. And again, I won't run it actually through the actual industrial area itself. I'm just going to run it like this. Maybe just run it up. Like this. And of course we're going to put one back the other way. I would like to put one, actually maybe we'll come round this way. Put another stop there, another stop there, and I think that will do it. Just colour these up. It's bright green, it's bright orange. And I say this is the way I would use buses, guys. It kind of works with the small residential area. It gets people kind of moving in like this, and I think that's kind of gets the city there. We've got a little bit of demand for commercial, but what I do want to do is, which is going to be the kind of focus of this part, is disasters. Now I know I do not have disasters switched on, but what I want to show you guys is the benefit of even putting disaster stuff down when you've actually got it. So you've got the city here. I mean, the land values are pretty high, but you can see down here, and watch this, guys. Watch this. I think we'll start up here. I think we can get one here. Look at this. Putting these radio masts up is a way to really hype up your city, and I mean, and have another one. Just if we put one there, I mean, we're gonna have to run power to these, but you can see the very, very quick win of the effects of the masts. Maybe what we could do is put a small one over here, and then of course what we're going to have to do is find the ones that don't have power, like this one, because of course it won't have power. I think you're okay. So that kind of gives your city a very, very quick boost. Got no power here as well. It goes without saying because it's in the middle of nowhere. Okay, let's cancel that. Oh, I want to done it. Right, let's just go this way, guys. Should get these working. And of course we've got a little bit of a labour shortage here, but it's not a problem. Got a lot of traffic density building up though. The other thing I noticed as well is that we have no kind of export link for this area here. So what I'm actually going to do is pick the rail line up, down, and pick up this. Gonna come up, and I just want this connected here. And what this will mean that is that some surplus products, rather than being shipped to here and then being transposed by lorry to here, this areas will be able to export directly underground here. Of course there's no reason to connect up that way. Got another railway line in there. It's going to be a bit tricky getting that railway line out of there, isn't it? Let's just see if I can do this, guys. Okay, let's... The reason I'm doing this is that okay, let's have to really try and freebase this. May have to adjust that monorail down like that. Because what I would like to do is do a rail link out to a new community that's out here. Oh, trash problem over here. Why is this? Probably because this isn't big enough capacity anymore. Okay, let's... Only got the one garbage system out here, so get another garbage truck in here, cover this side of the city. You've got to be careful, because if I show you here, it will say that I have enough capacity to cover the garbage in the city, but what you need to remember is that I've got separate incinerators over here servicing very small areas, so that can be a problem. And I think what I will do is I don't really want to hook up more to this, so that go underneath. Yeah, let's get a maybe we'll go the road through here. Up a little bit like this. Curve around like that. I think maybe again. So that one has to be a little bit free form. I don't think that we actually need to be strictly. Just check this out a bit more. I think what I might do is just nick in here a little bit. What we might be able to do is just sneak in a little bit of more heavyweight industry just in here. Like that. So I don't actually want that. Okay guys, I've just had an idea. Change that to there. And what I'm going to do is, I mean this is a remote community, so let's just come in like this. And we'll come out a little bit like that. And maybe we'll push around here a little bit. Like that. In like that. And what we're going to do here is put a farming specialization. And of course we're short of water. Bugger, I hate it when it does that. If I did proper gridding, I'm getting very lapsadaisical with this city. Apologies guys, I think I'm getting a little bit too relaxed for my normal kind of. And what we can do is now this farming will not be fields, or shouldn't be fields. The game can always mess you up. What this should be is like food production. So what we will probably have to do is import food in, and then this food will then be turned in beefcakes into food and then be shipped out again. So we've got this area here. We've got a little bit of space here actually. Haven't finished actually zoning up all this area. Okay, that's a bit of a fail on my part, guys. Let's just get this area in. Just pad out this area a little bit. Actually, let's just zone over this whole area. Cancel that. Get some high density there. Yeah, a bit of a fail on my part here, guys. Just zone up. That's filled in. Got a little bit more scope here. I think I'll just want to leave this area open. We get any parks or Yeah. We'll just, I think what we might do is just put some, maybe we'll just make this into a little bit of a area here, because it is next to the university. Put a little bit of variety in. And you can see how busy it is around here, guys. This is carrying 232 people a week. You can see this is one of the reasons why I really love metros. I mean, if you come up to here and look at this, you can see the metros here, the sheer numbers of people that you're actually carrying, and of course now you can get the breakdown, which will allow you to see what's going on. I mean, that shows how busy the metros get, is the fact that these are filling up with people, and that's there on this line. This line's not quite so busy, but you can see here it's still a couple of busy stations on it. We've got this one here. It's a bit more evenly distributed there, but it's still carrying a lot of people. So metros make a big difference, and even the old tram lines are doing well. Ferries, they're not quite so well, but then don't really expect the ferries to do that much. Cable cars are a bit weird. I mean, we've even got a few people on the bus lines. How about that, see, guys? Tram lines there, got no trains. Ferries are okay, got no ships. Now, I'm just going to show you the cable cars. Cable cars, the only way you can get the stats for cable cars is to come in and actually click on it. This here, and it will tell you, like, we're carrying 218 people a week across this little link here into the city. And again, you can see how popular it is just by the sheer number of people wandering in and out of this area here. And okay, guys, now the other thing, yeah, again, we've got a bit of a kind of a residential type problem here, so maybe actually we've got space. Why am I creating new roads? I think we'll just get a bit more high density in here. There's a bus route through here. And what we can do is squeeze in a little bit of there. I'll put a bit of high density commercial here, a little bit of density this side. How busy this is this here? Yeah, I was carrying 409 passengers, so right, back to what I was doing. Sorry I'm getting distracted, guys, but now shelters. Again, it may seem crazy. Why am I putting shelters in? Well, there's two reasons why I'm going to put shelters in this city. One is, if you do this, you can see again an immediate boost to the land. And the other thing I also want to show you guys here is food, which is if you do have a city with disasters, food can become a problem when the city becomes big, and you need to remember that if you put one of these in, so say, like, for example, say I put one in over here, and I don't know whether that will, okay, let's put one, where can we put one? Let's put one up here. I don't really want to damage the city. Now, this will connect. This will have a certain amount of positive effect on the city. This has got food, power, water. Now, the water obviously comes from the grid, but the food has to be delivered. And what will actually happen is that even though this is a totally residential area with commercial over here, what you will eventually see is trucks coming here to deliver. So, like, if I kind of click on there, see the box truck? So, if you kind of come here and click on the road outside. We can't pick anything up just yet. But what you will see is trucks coming in to do delivery. See, this one just came in there. And see there? So what actually happens is that these trucks start to deliver to the air to build the food up. So for these shelters to function efficiently, if you've got a city that has disasters, you've got to make sure that you've actually got a good way of transport links in so that these can get deliveries. So there's always a temptation, like I've put these, you could put these in obscure corners, like you could tuck it in, I don't know. Well, you could put it one down here with no external links. Again, this is where you've got to be careful with these types of settlement. If you build a purely residential settlement with no commercial external links, what will actually happen is that if I put a shelter, say for example down here, we'll just put a small one in. I put one there, and this area here, I know it's got commercial links, but if this was just purely residential with no commercial or industrial in it, what will happen is this will have no food in eventually, and it would be useless. So that's just a minor point to remember, guys. If you're actually doing this, just make it an equal opportunity city. Let's just put a, I mean, it's not going to provide the cover, but it increases the land value. You can see here, land value is looking good, and the population's building up quite nicely. Just keeping an eye on the time. I know I keep going longer than I should with these, and you can see the city's growing here. This is built in now, really, really nice. We've got planks for life, so we've actually got nothing. Looks like we've actually got a little bit of forestry industry in here that's kind of sprung up, but that's okay. I'm comfortable with that, guys. I don't have a problem. And I think what I want to do is, this is still having problems, so I think what I'm going to do is just kind of keep, actually we've got loads of residential stuff over here, so I'm talking too much and falling down on the job, and I think we can just take that out. Got a link there. Just check the noise. I can be a little bit obsessive about noise, yeah. So I think what I will do is zone this area here, and I think maybe we'll just put in some offices around here. And maybe we'll just, and these will kind of suck up the noise around this area, and it's getting a bit close to the municipal dump, but maybe we'll just put a little bit more around here and put some high density along the top here. I don't want to come any further out than this. Now there's a bit of a garbage problem, but then the garbage trucks have got to come all the way across the city. Let's just have a quick check. Well, they're coming out to do it, so they're on the way. So I think they will do their job. And I don't want to start a new area in this part, guys. I think in the next part we will start to build up a new community over here, over one of these sides. Maybe we can build a proper, another industrial complex over here. Actually, maybe let's just have a look and see what we got resource wise. Yeah, I don't think. Got some ore specialization over there. Actually, let's just have a quick buy another tile. Could buy another tile. Let's have a quick look. So that is there, or there. I think we've got. Double check, guys. It's quite literally off here. Okay, that's right bang on the boundary. Okay, let's just buy this, and this is just setting things up for the next part, guys, because it's a bit hard to actually see. Yeah, I think I might have messed that up a little bit, guys. I think the ore specialization is just outside. Let me just flip again. I don't know, we've got a big wodge here. Yeah, you can see the line now. These hills. So I think what we might do is here in the next part is create. Just mark it up. Like that. Call this Ore Town. And I think, as say, in the next part, I'll build up an area here, and maybe because we've got water in the way, maybe we'll set a blimp line connection up that way with some like passenger rail tracks or something like that. So we've got the single monorail. I do think, honestly believe that monorails are more for this type of role where you want people to move between settlements. I don't see monorails as a form of local transport within a large city. It just seems to take up too much space. It's just a bit too noisy. Again, I think I said it in the last part. I think they've gone a little bit overpowered with the noise for monorails. Yes, they make noise, but I think 105, I think it is 105 is, let's just see, there's some monorails here. You know, 125, 135. I mean, that noise level of noise pollution is just a little bit too high from my point of view when you compare it with, say, the metro station here, 50. Now, if it was 100, maybe 150, you know, about 100 for a major centre, I just don't think they're appropriate for, say, like, I wouldn't use a monorail to provide a link around a city like this. I'd rather use trams and metro. I still think, to be honest, I still think for a very dense city, part of a city like this, I still think metro is by far the best form of mass transit. But I do see how this will have a role in moving people around. Maybe when we create Ore Town, maybe we will run a metro through, but I kind of want to try Blimps because I'm still not sure. But if you guys got any ideas, I mean, some of you must have played things. I mean, what would you think is the ideal situation for Blimps? So just off the top of my head, guys, to me, Blimps are something like this. You don't want to build a bridge and you want to kind of create a link in for a commercial area. So what I would probably do is, in fact, let's do it, guys. We've got a bit of industry here. I'm just going to put it in. It's going to be a bit meaningless. We've got to even find. Again, what's the noise level on this? Oh, it's not too bad. And why won't that hook? Yeah, I'd put a blimp station there, next to the metro. Zone this out, and we'll just make that into a little bit of a park. So I'd have a blimp station here, next to the metro. This is just fleshing this out. We've got Ore Town over here. So rather than trying to plough a railway line through here, pre-mass transit, I would use the metro link. But well, let's just do it, guys. Okay. I keep doing this, and I apologise, guys. It's just, I just get the ideas start bubbling up. I start thinking about something, and it just kind of gets to me, and I kind of think, wow, yeah, if I do this, I do that. So we'll just put a big crossroads in the centre of town, like that. And of course we want the industry up here, we'll bring the residential down here. And of course we would need a blimp depot, so maybe we will just put the blimp depot up here. And of course we'll have next to the garbage trucks, we might as well just go all out. And of course we've got no water, miles away from any water whatsoever. So let's just actually let's go the opposite way. That, and it's not exactly actually go across like that. And blimp depot. Oops, no, connect. Okay. Try to think. What is that? And as I say, what I would do is probably extend the industrial area here. We'd have industrial going out, commercial this centre, so maybe I would put the blimp depot. I mean, this may all be subject to change in the future, guys, and maybe we'll put a botanic garden next to it, just to kind of give a bit of oomph. We can connect like that, and just come right across the water like that. Connect this up. And then what I would do is put in a... Oh, we've got to construct a pathway first, okay. That's what I know about blimps. And I think what we will do then is just kind of come in like this. That. To connect her. Why won't that let me create a new line? No, it's not. And that's the way I would see how I would use blimps, guys. That you'd have the blimps coming in like that, because it would fly over the water, fly over the industrial area, give people the residents of this city a connection to the main city that will allow them to travel. And you can see the blimps are actually starting to fly. And I think this is where I'm going to leave it, guys. I mean, let me just put in the local police and fire. We might as well just build this up as a kind of service area stroke community. I'm definitely building a crossroads build now, guys. This is exactly how you do it in Banished. Actually, you create all your key services around like this and then run things off, because this is a min-max type situation, but it's just pure fun, guys. Sorry, I'm not taking this seriously. And wow, okay, let's get a little bit of residential going. 1, 2, 3. It's get a bit stereotypical. Go away, Trapper. And maybe we're kind of just get like this here, like that. I know it's all gridded. I said I wasn't going to do gridding. And maybe we'll have a little bit of high density. Just whack a little bit of high density through here, like this. Maybe a little bit more on this side. Let's get this up and running. Just check for the water situation. That's good. So we're going to get this little community running here, and well, it's got no external links here at the moment. So, and of course we would need a rail depot, but I'm freelancing it now, guys. So I think this is where I'm going to leave it before I do it. Just one quick run over the city. We've got a little bit of residential demand. Just make sure we've picked it all up in this side. Maybe we can put some more, a bit more residential down this side here. Just fill this in. This is still picking up. Okay, let's put a few. I know I'm doing it, guys. I know I'm doing it again, guys. But it can get so addictive. I'll be honest. I've set out with this game to say I'm just gonna play half an hour, just for a bit of fun, and 4 or 5 hours later, I'm still at it, working, building a city, and all I was. In fact, one of my common things that I do is I want to try something out, because obviously to learn this game, and any game really, you want to try things out. And what I do is I say, I was just going to try this out. So I'll build a quick city, write stuff up, and we've actually got getting a little bit of congestion here, which is a bit of a cause for concern. We're getting a lot of congestion here on the tracks. It's getting a bit too busy for my liking. Right. I think what I might do is, yeah, this is coming in from here, which is then binding with this. Yes, I need to do some work on this, guys, but I'm going to do it off camera, because what's happening is the imports from here are coming into here, which is then conflicting with this area. So this area actually needs 2 stations. Yeah, I need to work on this. Is this station busy? Getting busy. We may have to put a 3rd station in. We may have to adjust this. I'm going to do this off camera, guys, because it's going to take a little bit of time. And I think what we're going to have to do is probably put a new station up here to take the imports and exports. And then we'll have another station to bring the imports in from this part. And then this station will just stay to deal with the local traffic. But I'm aware of the time, I'm aware how long I've gone on with this, guys. I'll do that off camera, because that's something that needs to be done. I think this is where I'm going to leave it, guys. Hope you've enjoyed the episode, hope you found it interesting. In the next part, we'll work on All Town over here, just to get it going, just to get some blimps up and running, just to see how they work. But until then, guys, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.